You know what? Even for the funsies, like I will go for it. Have you ever seen something like this? Because I frankly didn't. Hello everyone, it's Sloth today with completely different deck than usually. This is something I don't normally play, but it's so fun and it's so interesting that I decided to give it a try. And I must say that the results were pretty good and I'm happy with the deck. It is a bit of a budget deck. Like, to be honest, it's hard to find like real budget deck without losing a lot of power, but I think this might be as close as it gets, because the cards that are like rare, you probably have all of them except like Brilliant Restoration. Like what we have here, Farewell. This is something you already probably crafted by 10 times. You might not have 4 of them, but you know, you can always cut it, put Devastating Master, things like this. Memory Deluge, you probably have all of them. Shigeki, if you played a Golgari deck, you probably have 4 of them as well. Stomper might be something you don't have, and probably some lands, but the triumphs are already. So basically you don't need to craft a lot of things. Definitely this is very situational, and I probably should start with playing how the deck plays, right? Instead of how to craft. But I just feel responsible. I want to put that it's a budget deck, so I want to, you know, give some justice to this statement. And with that being said, what the hell this deck does, basically? It's just a lot of small weird creatures that don't do anything, right? It's 5 mana for 4 with Vigilance. Sloth, what the hell are you showing me? This is actually a deck with all the creatures that are here have channel ability for very cheap cost and they are relatively high statted. What more? You can see the type: enchantment, creature, artifact, creature, enchantment, creature. And let's read the main card for the deck. Brilliant Restoration. By the way, I have to say the art on this card is just so amazing. I don't know what it is, but it just speaks to me. It's one of my favorite cards. I wish it was played more so I could look at it. So the card, what it does, for 7 mana, cheap. Return all artifacts and enchantment cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Normally it's not great because like those aren't the cards that usually win you the game. They cannot kill the enemy. But that's why we made the deck like this. All of our creatures are basically the enchantments. And all of our creatures love getting back from the graveyard because like this single card already costs 7. The same as Brilliant Restoration. So if you pay 7 for this, it's not great effect for the cost, but it's already like a full value for the card in a way. And you can get back a lot of those. And if you watch the video, you will see a lot of plays like this. It happened way more than I thought it will. And it's pretty fun because you basically spend whole early game by discarding, and each of those cards do give you value by discarding. This translates to a plains. And believe me, in some situations it was a big deal that we got this one extra land and we discarded a huge creature. Tanuki is basically a generic 3 mana ramp. It is decent and we need ramp for this deck, so the fact that you get more mana from the future turns, and it's not like a ramp, you know, an artifact or something, it's the ramp that activates the Stomper, so usually you have one in the board and can start attacking like planewalkers and stuff. So this is actually meaningful. Mirrorshell Crab, a very decent counterspell that for half a game will be a hard counterspell. It also can target abilities, so sometimes it can be even better than the counterspell, depending on the situation. So each one of those cards, and Skyturtle, of course, is actually an amazing card, and you actually want to use it as a channel ability, because there are better ones. So basically, each one of your creatures does something when channeled, and it's card for card usually. And then you get them back, and you suddenly get an insane power spike, like having 30-30 in stats on the board is normal for this deck. You can even go higher. And what the beauty of this deck is, if you have like a single Colossal Skyturtle or Shigeki, you can do it back. It's just a sorcerer. It's not like legendary or anything. You just can get cards from your graveyard and do it over again. What's best? In order to get it back from the graveyard with channel, you need to discard Skyturtle. So it automatically gets this creature back and gives you value. Like, everything works perfectly. And yeah, the power spikes for this deck are really strong, really strong. It's one of the biggest spiky decks I have played. Like getting random 5, 6, 7 drops for 7 mana on one of your turns, like from nowhere. Nobody expects this. It's such a big deal. Normal decks, non-control decks cannot handle it at all because it's just too much stats. They can kill one. You will see in one of the games, like the person really tried. I really respect him for this, but you can see how painfully hard it is to answer every single creature. It completely destroys an opponent hand. Like basically he won't have any cards and you will still have creatures on the board. And in the end you just cast another one and he needs to do it all over again. Like it's not bearable for normal decks. And against controls, of course, you have a lot of big creatures. They need to counter each one of them. So the deck definitely has stuff going for it. As you can see, we are very top heavy. We basically have full deck of 5, 6 and 7 drops. Our big answer to everything is Farewell. And don't forget, you can exile parts of what pains you. So for example, enchantments, graveyard, or artifacts, and you can mish and mash. Just remember that this is enchantment, this is an artifact, so if you exile artifact, you will exile the crap as well from the board. So you generally don't want to exile your cards because you want them in the graveyard, and with this you generally don't want to exile your graveyard. It will pain you more than the enemy most of the time, so you do it only on specific situations, and usually you need to play in advance. So for example, you don't activate the channel abilities before you do it. So then you clear the graveyard and then you dump all the creatures into the graveyard, so you can bring them back. And Memory Deluge. We actually have Shigeki, Memory Deluge, and Brilliant Restoration. Sometimes, looking at those games, I cannot believe we have so many options to draw what we need. Especially Memory Deluges. We have 4 of them, but I couldn't hit them for my life today. But definitely a strong card, and with all the ramp, basically you need only something to do with the mana. And having 7 in this deck is very, very easy. You will have 7 mana nearly every game, because we have like planes from this one, ramp from this one, and ramp from this one. We have everything, right? So this is the idea behind the deck. Like about competitiveness, like it's very neat idea. Of course, it's like everything works perfectly, and I like that the deck has clear plan, knows what it does, and exactly executes the plan. Everything is done for a reason here. Personally, I do not love decks that have like one trick. I usually don't showcase them too much. I like more versatile decks that, can deal with different situations. Like one trick pony decks feels for me like an aggro a bit, that you just play your cards and see if that was enough. But to be honest, with this deck, it was extremely fun. I think it's a fun deck. And it was so ridiculous at some time and so hilarious that you cannot not enjoy the Brilliant Restoration. It's just such a fun card and not really played, so I think it's worth a shot if you have like a lot of those cards lying there, or you just want something new. It's definitely different kind of deck than usually. About the competitiveness, of course, like it won't compete with tier 1 decks. I didn't really try, like I had decent results, but objectively speaking, I cannot believe that you can just go toe to toe with like Boros or something like this. You will probably be on the losing side a bit, but it's still worth it, I think, and it's a bit fun. And it's still strong while being fun. Something that Boros can never match. You basically, to play Boros, you give up all the happiness of your life just to win the games. And this one is just the sweet spot of being pretty competitive, especially if you are like below Diamond or Mythic. I think that you have a fair shot of winning a lot of games with this one, and you can probably climb the rank even. So pretty decent shot in this deck. I liked it, and with I don't know what to say, so we will just cut the intro. As always, subscribe if you like the channel and stuff like this. Thank you for anyone who waited until now with me, and tell me if you like this kind of decks in the comments. I enjoyed it more than I should, and I think that's a deck worth showcasing. I did enjoy this one. So let's see the games. Alright, so we are going first. We have 2 mana for the Samurai, so we will hit our 3-drop into Crab. You know what? Like, we're definitely on the plan, let's say. Let's see if it works out in the end. We definitely need some blue... Okay, some blue mana. Yeah, exactly. So for this reason, we could actually go for Shigeki and ramp. You know what? In this situation, I think it's good. We drew a land, so we have land drop for the next turn. And having extra land with Shigeki is pretty huge deal. And he will think that it's insanely strong like Shigeki control. So he might even go out of the way to kill it. Like... Yeah, we can do it at the end step, right? Field of Ruin, probably not the best. We don't really want to ramp him. We do not attack. So actually we hold up the counter spell because we have 2 blue. Next turn Memory... Like, things are looking great so far. I have to say it. Let's activate the ability. I want something that has green. Thank you. And we can actually take this one, right? Yeah, we want this one, so it comes back if we cast the Brilliance. And we also fill the graveyard. Just a little bit with Shigeki. Enemy is thinking, what the hell is this Tanuki doing in this deck and the Crab? He's already know that something is not right here. Alright, I probably should have gone for the white, but I definitely want to cast the Stomper, so that's why the play like this. So, let's keep ramping, shall we? Oh my god, we actually are ramping so crazy. So we get planes for the next turn, right? Let's see, but I think that's... Oh my god, I just realized we have 6 lands to enemy 3 lands. It doesn't mean that we are winning, but it's definitely quite hilarious. Okay, 4 mana. Doomscar. Okay, Doomscar and Cardo. That's fine. Fine by me. I guess we could play the creature. But we have better things to do. And getting ramp every single turn, or at least a card draw, is good enough. We could just play Tanuki. Oh man, that's so funny. You can actually start pressuring him. That's quite important. Like, he's at 20, and very soon he might be at 12. So he needs to think... I don't think he will do anything this turn. Like, first hit is basically, you know, you get the value from your life and just draw cards. I think we go like a control for a moment. Alright. How much mana do we have? We need 3 and 4. We don't have enough blue. We can either counter spell or Memory Deluge. For this reason. And let's make sure that we tap out the correct mana. And I'm doing it now because there won't be better occasion than this to get rid of his dual land. And I want my lands, I want island. We still need 1 plains, but I don't have... Oh no, this is white. Okay, so we have 4 white, that's good enough. Okay, and 1 mana means that he won't ramp into anything. So we just keep up the counter spell and see what he does. Like, he is the one pressure to do something. I think he doesn't have huge problems with the Stomper. Yeah, sure. So he can get as much time against a 4/4 as he wants, so that's not a big deal. However, the fact that we can Memory Deluge into some good place, this is actually important. The other play would be to ramp with Tanuki, I guess. He was thinking about the counter spell. Huh. Okay, farewell. Not the best, to be honest. Skyturtle? It has ward. Yeah, I think it's a Skyturtle and probably a land drop. I definitely want to keep hitting land drops. So I guess let's attack. We have okay cards in the graveyard, but not the best ones. It's fun, we can actually start playing this like a control with more pressure. Kinda insane, but definitely one of the ways. Next turn we can even Samurai and still get the counter spell. And we can get back 2 cards or 3 next turn. Okay, so we say go. Enemy will draw some cards. But in the end, he cannot compare to our board value. I guess he can because he has 4/4. But we are at 23, so we have time to play our stuff. And we can bounce the pilot if we care. We have a lot of value in the hand, I think that's good enough. This means he cannot block with the Bankbuster in the next turn, so we basically force him to react sooner than he wants. Like, this is pretty big deal. We just removed his 4/4 from the board. And I guess, you know, like I want more ramp, I still don't have enough mana. With double Memory Deluge and Shigeki, like we can sink as much mana as we want. And he went to tap out? Oh boy! Oh boy! That's interesting. Do we go with the Samurai? Nah, we just play it on board. So he needs to Doomscar, and we can even counter Doomscar, but I think he has the mana. But he needs to tap out them. And we have Memory Deluge, things like this. Like, we have a lot of value. With 4 Memory Deluge we can go toe-to-toe with the enemy, and we just go, like, it's playing like aggro, but you just make a bigger creatures that are a bit slower. But you still need to pace, like, play 1 creature, force him to play a sweeper, and things like this. So that's my plan, at least. We definitely want to go, yeah, he starts to crack. Okay, sure. And that's perfect, thanks to not using Samurai. Oh, I forgot that the card was also here. Let's go for white. And by white I mean blue. Okay, great. Alright, so we draw some cards. Perfect, thank you. And here we are. Enemy has Doomscar, that's something we need to remember about. Like, yeah. But the value we are getting is pretty insane, and he's tapped out. You know what? Even for the funsies, like, I will go for it. Have you ever seen something like this? Because I frankly didn't. Oh boy. Okay, that's definitely something. That's definitely first Doomscar out of the way. Yeah, it's still worth it. I find it still worth it. Imagine if we are playing the deck that doesn't have a sweeper, and if we play like this, it's just such a game over. By the way, I really like the art, it's pretty sweet. Okay, now the enemy knows exactly what the deck is about, and we can get stuff from the graveyard with Shigeki. Like, we do not mind it. Let's start playing some Samurais. They seem pretty decent. We still have Memory Deluge, like we can counter, we can pressure, we can basically do a little bit of everything. It will be a hard game to close, like he has cards, I have value, he has value. Basically it just goes who is out of options first. And I kinda think that we go for Memory Deluge ourselves at the end step. We play the crab if something amazingly strong is there. Oh boy. It will be hard to outvalue full Azorius control, because that's basically like the pinnacle of value, of grindy value. But we will definitely try, we have a first shot. With Shigeki we can get so many creatures, so with Shigeki we can basically get as many cards as we want, and we probably get like 2 creatures aboard, then he needs to sweep, then we play new 2 creatures, and in the end we bring all of them. So like we have enormous amount of pressure, but we need time to do it right? Okay. What do you say about another Memory Deluge? They might have Test of Talent. This is kind of deck that runs it. Okay, I will take Jukai. I actually will take the Jukai. 3 mana. If we cast this, we cannot counter spell. So let's start with a nice attack for the enemy. Let's see if he reacts. My friend, do you want to react? No. Definitely long way to go, like we need to smork him 5 times and he has the hull. This has ward 3. It's not the worst, to be honest. But I think that this is more disruptive. So we basically flood the board with like common tier quality of cards. It's so funny and it's hard for them. They need a sweeper or like 2 direct removal cards. They don't have card advantage anymore. They have Memory Deluges, but they need so much mana to activate it. Which also means that Brilliant Restoration might go. Man, the art is so amazing on this one. I love the card just for the art. Like really, it's just something else. Okay, so enemy might use the hull, but then he needs to tap out completely. So it opens up even more interesting possibilities. I don't play super aggressively, I'm pretty sure he has another Doomscar. Yeah, like this. Okay, sure. You got it. Like, we need to grind him out of all of those cards. That's the way to go. And we also need to make sure that he never has 7 mana, so he cannot Memory Deluge at the end step. That is the idea. I guess we might allow him once when we cast Shigeki ourselves. So then we trade value and both of us just refill like crazy. But our refill might be better because Shigeki just draws generally more cards. You pay 7 mana for 2 cards. Here you pay 8 mana for 3 cards and it scales even higher. So that's a big deal. And each one of our cards is basically like 5 cards with Brilliant Restoration. He's thinking, okay. So it seems that he has another counter spell. He probably has like Forge Ward. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, so he went for the full removal package. That's a big deal. That's actually a big deal. It means we cannot play the way we did before. So, let's see if you have the sweeper right now. Enemy has only 2 mana. And here we go again, until we smork you. One of the turns you won't have this one card that saves you. And that's what we count for. Oh boy, that's so much power. So we are bringing like 12, 18, 24, like 30 attack. We basically kill him in 1 turn. If he doesn't sweep the board. And I think he's digging. Ladies and gentlemen, and that was a land, I think? Do you have a sweeper? Yes! We did it! Oh my god, we did it! We out-grinded the most grindy control ever, and we even ranked up. Oh my god, I'm so proud of this deck. And we even cast the Brilliance 2 times against a control deck, because we are so pressuring them. Insane. I'm speechless. Alright, so we are going first with pretty decent hand. I like the start. We have a lot of like interactions that are small, and Brokers Hideout is definitely the first one. This is a pretty important choice. I think we go for the blue because that's the only one we lack, and the next round will be Fleet of Ruin. Like, I mean the next one that we will fetch from the deck. Because we need 4 white mana to cast our things. Oh boy, we are in a kind of mirror. Cabaretti. What are those colors? Because I have no idea. Mountain, forest, plains. Okay, I have no idea what we are playing against, and that's fine. We won't be able to activate Field of Ruin, so no reason to play anything. Let's just pretend that we have stuff. Oh my god, is this again this crap? I just played against it. Okay, so we can bounce it if we care. I'm not sure if I care. But if we have so many turtles, I think we can spend one of them. Remember that having those cards in the graveyard is actually okay for us. Enemy has only basics. That's not great. We cannot get second green. So I guess we can counter something, but we cannot get the land. That's not great. I would love to play the Stomper this turn. Do we even let it through. It's a big creature. Like, I think we go a bit all in and just make sure that we throw the enemy, put all the big cards in the graveyard, and you know, like, we need to hit stuff sooner or later. This is the play. Field of Ruin is not great here. This land helps enemy. He might have red cards that he isn't able to play. I will do it because I'm a mean person. No, I think that he really needed it. First of all, he doesn't have red mana, and second of all, he just drew it because he would play it before, so I think that it might have been his saving grace a bit. We go for the green. I nearly missed this one. And of course we made a stop. And okay, so he has each one of those. That's okay. It's not perfect, but let it be. Very often decks with three colors don't have like basics from each color, but of course he has those. Fatilda is not the biggest problem, honestly. Okay, so we missed the land. For this reason we can cycle this guy, and Auto Tapper is just trying to mess with us so much. Okay, so we want double green, definitely. So we need like this. We channel, we find the planes. Basically environmental science, right? And now we play the Stomper, and now we get white mana, so we have the fourth one, in case we top deck the card that we need. And look how much value we can get back from the graveyard. We just need to hit our main card for the deck. Let's see if we can. Oh boy, I actually do not mind it. I can even bounce it for additional ramp if I want to. I really need some Memory Deluges from the deck. Like, we run those cards for a reason. You know what? At this point, I guess we could just wait and farewell. Huh. You know what? There's not much damage in the board. Like, I could cast Tanuki, but the whole idea is that we dump all the creatures into the graveyard, and they are all cheap channel and high cost for a creature, and then we get them back, right? So, like, we need to draw our key cards. Like, we have 8 draws that give us the win condition. Like, we have 4 Memory Deluges, and we have 4 of the Brilliance. Like, we have to hit them at some point. The fact that we didn't already in 1/4 of the deck is pretty insane. We should have 2 of them at least by now. But you know, and also we take all the lands from the deck, so basically there is not much left outside of those key cards. Like, we are at 43 already against enchantments. And I will go with double Tanuki. I don't care. Like, we are going crazy with this one. Let's go for green, maybe. See? I told you, you play to your freaking outs. Okay, so we have 2 ways. We either do it now and just completely obliterate the enemy. Seems pretty fine. Or we can just farewell him. But you know what? We have Colossal Skyturtle, and I think it's way more fun to just flood the board. Oh, he didn't see this one. It's so hilarious when it works, it just really is. Like, you think, what the hell is he doing? Is he playing a common with channel 2 just to get a land? He's ramping into what? And suddenly, oh, okay, it makes sense. And I'm not gonna lie, if I was in the place of my opponent, I would have no idea what's going on. I would probably, yeah, reconsider what's going on with the deck. All the enchantments cards. Oh boy, now he needs to think. Let's see if he has sweepers, because he won't be able to answer those creatures one by one. Oh, that's not... Oh, it's so cute. Okay, he's trying. He's definitely trying to do it. The problem is that if he does it, we just do it again. And some of the creatures won't be exiled, so they will come back. Okay, that's 5 lifelinker. Probably not the best choice. He saves more life by not attacking. But you know what, maybe... If he doesn't want to trade, I guess it makes some sense. But you know what's happening. Smork? That's a lot of damage, even if you have lifelink. And we have Skyturtle if you want to bounce something. He's at 9. That's no joke. We definitely cycled this land though. We could get rid of the enchantments, but our creatures are enchantments. So I think we hold this Colossal Skyturtle, and we probably should cycle it main phase just to see what we get. And you know what? I'm happy with what I got. And if we play something, it will be the bounce. So 2 mana is good enough. Let's go for blue-white. There's some word way. Maybe we cast Farewell and Brilliance. I don't know. At this point, it probably does not super matter. Oh boy, like you need a lot of circle of confinements, and if all of the creatures will be under the circles, we just Farewell for enchantments and we get them back. So it's still not good for the enemy. Or the opponent, should I say. Like, it's ridiculous. Oh my god, he's trying. I can respect the amount of work that he puts into this. Like, he's really trying. You're gonna give him that. And we have few ways to tackle this situation. He cannot replay the Catilda. Let's see the attacks first. Will he attack or just wait with the block? Probably waiting with the block is better overall. But he's greedy, he wants the guaranteed. So he's at 18 and we cannot kill him. If we bounce it, this is trample, so the highest block is here, so 10 goes through and he dies. Seems good for me. Seems good for me. Let's bounce it. No lifelink for you, my friend. Oh, Memory Deluge, the card that we waited for half a deck. Yeah, that was a good game. And the opponent played nicely. He really put the work. Look at this thing. And to be honest, like, our draw was pretty awful. This was the one of the worst cases. This draw was huge, but Memory Deluge is what we needed for the full game, basically. Okay, so enemy goes first. We have the Stomper, we don't have correct mana, and we have a lot of... Like, the hand is definitely not good. But let's try it. Like, if we have enough time to go into 3 mana, we can definitely wait a long time. And it seems that the enemy deck is something that will let us go through. I will go for the forest, definitely. We need way more forests. And by way more, I mean 1 more, so we can cast the Stomper. That's a solid hit. And of course enemy will keep ramping. And given this is dead land drop anyway, so we might as well get our second green. I wonder, I hope it's not the Chariot. Please, not the Chariot. Okay, Stomper is okay. Like, it's definitely something that is good for him, but at least we have time to play our cards. And let's play like this, because with Tanuki we can ramp at Dead Sep. Man, this is actually so good. Nah. Alright, we can counter the ability. I forgot about this part as well. Okay, Farewell completely changes how we play this one. How many? We need 1 more white for our finisher. Yeah, I think the plane, even though we have so many planes, the next one is the way to go, I think. We want to always be sure that we can cast the Brilliance thing. And now he won't play because he thinks about... Oh, okay, Stomper, sure. Also, we can get Farewell faster this way. He will ramp. Like, I think we let him attack once. And I hope he won't use the lair instead of his play for the turn. This way, like, when we ramp, we show him that, hey, we are also playing this game. And that's what it counts. We have double blue, double green. Let's go for blue. Sometimes we need a lot of blue for multiple Memory Deluges. Samurai. Okay, okay. Do we take the hit? Enemy needs to play the land. Huh, that's a hard one. I think we put 1 Stomper. It's not perfect, but it gives us so much more time. And let's go for green, so we have 2 sources of everything, and then the Triumph fixes what we lack. That is the play. So my idea is that I want to bait as many cards as possible before we sweep. And for this reason, usually you want to bluff fighting for the board, then enemy starts to commit more. And that's for damage, but he didn't activate the lair, so I assume that something will go here. Okay, Planewalker is actually the only thing that we really care about and we don't want to see. So I'm really glad he played it with 2 extra mana. Especially after seeing the crab and 3 mana. Yeah, like Ren was actually the only thing that really hurt. We don't have anything good in the graveyard yet. Maybe we just go for the Skyturtle? Yeah, sure, you know what, let's go for this Skyturtle. This is one of the good things about the deck. You have so many ridiculously strong big creatures that actually you can just play while using them. It's also enchantment. Unfortunately, it's a creature as well. So Farewell cannot hit only the enchantment, or yeah, like you know what I mean. You cannot name creature and just not hit this one. Lair is a big problem. This is actually the biggest problem. I hope we hit Field of Ruin at some point. Tamio, oh boy. Okay, Tamio is painful. Tamio is definitely painful. The fact that she can bring back Ren next turn, like we are definitely weak against Planewalkers if we don't flood the board. Okay, that's a decent draw. I know I said I want Field of Ruin, but that was last turn before I saw Tamio. Like I will still play this, but definitely a big deal. It has to be non-land, right? Okay. So he cannot tap both, but he can definitely bring back the Ren, and it's not great. Like we need to definitely keep killing Planewalkers. We can get rid of the land. Lair is dead in a way. So this is solved. This is not solved, and what he gets from the graveyard is definitely not solved. And that's the problem with Farewell. Oh boy, like if there were more decks like this, I would think about replacing Farewell with Devastating Mastery, just for this reason to kill Planewalkers, but fortunately they are quite rare overall. And Mr. Big Boy is definitely doing some plays. I can't say that I don't like his deck. It's pretty fun. I've been playing with either this one or very similar one, and it is fun. It is fun. So we need to go for some insanely high value. But it also means that Tamio cannot tap anything. But this has reach. Oh, it's so lame. And this has vigilance. It's so lame. I guess we should trade. No reason not to. Like, both have vigilance, so if enemy wants to trade, he will. So we might as well take 4 damage less, right? MRF. Okay, that's a thing. And this is the perfect turn to Farewell. Oh boy, he even has the hole. Like, he has all the answers to our deck, and we don't draw very well. Like, we have 4 Memory Deluge in this deck. You might not think that it's the case looking at those draws, but we actually have a lot of card draw in this deck. Yeah, you did. You have 1 mana. Do you want to do something with this 1 mana and 1 card? Or you just click things? I'm pretty sure he's just clicking things because they're highlighted. Yeah, cool. So let's go for blue, in case we ever hit Memory Deluge. Crap. That's a crap. Problem is that we cannot kill anything. But we still will attack. There are reasons for that. Problem is that we cannot serve the Planewalkers, and that's the biggest pain. But we still need to do it. So we will attack, even knowing that he will block. And I definitely do not enjoy Tamio more than I do not enjoy Ren. Like, Tamio is such a monster. Maybe he gets scared of bluff. I actually should make stops if he's thinking about it. He actually let us do this, because it was so obviously baity that he wanted to not risk it. Oh my god, that's so good! We actually baited the wrong play from him. And now we can get rid of all the creatures. Legendary, yeah. No way around this one. And we can also counter stuff. In case he has something. Ah? Fading Hope. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. The dragon is going down. The dragon is with the rest of us. Ren is of course the problem, but the fact that we went so far is already pretty insane. Oh boy, oh boy. Storm the Festival. Yeah, I think I've been playing with this deck. It's pretty fun. So it's fine, yeah. Well, we did our best. To be honest, like, the reason we lost is just not having good enough draws. Our opening was pretty garbage, and there was no late game, because we didn't draw any of the late game. We basically needed more Memory Deluges and we would win. And that was a good game, my friend. I liked how he played, even though it was... yeah, it didn't work out. Like, at least he tried to play around things, and in the end he won, so that was a good decision from his side.